Are they becoming parents? The shocking side of Junho and Yoona at a hospital has left fans stunned and rumors spiraling out of control. Could this be the start of a new chapter in their love story, one that leads to parenthood? Join Red Carpet Revealed as we dive into the mystery, uncover the clues, and reveal what really happened behind those hospital doors. Right now, the entertainment world is no stranger to scandal. Surprise dating announcements to sudden breakups. From contract disputes to social media meltdowns, Korea's entertainment industry has seen it all. Yet even in a field where rumors are currency and headlines come and go in waves, some stories manage to rise above the noise and strike at the heart of public imagination. The latest whisper-turned-wildfire concerns two of Hallyu's brightest stars, Lee Junho of 2PM fame and Yoona of Girls' Generation. Both now celebrated actors in their own right, were allegedly spotted at a hospital together. And almost overnight the question spread like wildfire: are they becoming parents? The rumor began innocently enough. A few blurry photos circulated online, showing two figures, masked and dressed casually, entering a well-known hospital in Seoul. At first, the identities of the pair were speculative. But soon, eagle-eyed fans pointed out striking similarities in height, posture, and even fashion choices. Before long, the internet was ablaze with claims that the two people in the photos were none other than Lee Junho and Yoona. Within hours, hashtags combining their names with phrases like hospital visit and first baby were trending across Korean and international social media platforms. What made the sighting so explosive was not merely the possibility of romance. Fans of both stars had long speculated about their chemistry, especially after their acclaimed drama collaboration that left audiences swooning. But the location. Hospitals are not neutral territory. They carry with them a heavy weight of implication, especially in a conservative industry where any deviation from the image of youthful innocence and availability can spark scandal. The fact that these two megastars were allegedly seen entering together raised questions that fans and tabloids alike could not resist. Were they simply there for a routine checkup? Was it a coincidence that they happened to be spotted at the same facility? Or was this a sign of something far more serious, perhaps even the early stages of preparing for a child? The ambiguity was enough to trigger a full-blown media circus. By the next morning, tabloid headlines screamed speculation. Junho and Yoona, a hospital visit for love. Our wedding bells next, the secret behind the hospital door. Talk shows convened panels of experts ranging from body language analysts to OB-GYNs willing to speculate, without evidence, on what the visit might mean. Fans scoured every available photograph for clues, analyzing body language, proximity, and even the direction of their gazes. Some insisted that Junho appeared protective, walking slightly ahead as though shielding Yoona from view. Others claimed that Yoona's oversized hoodie was an attempt to conceal a potential pregnancy bump. The frenzy was only amplified by the silence of their respective agencies, normally swift to quash false rumors. Both sides refrained from issuing immediate denials. This vacuum of information proved fertile ground for speculation. If it wasn't true, they would have denied it instantly. One online comment read, quickly receiving thousands of likes. Another countered, they're just being careful because the truth would break the internet. Among fans, the reaction was deeply divided. On one side were those who welcomed the possibility, thrilled at the idea that their beloved stars might be taking the next step in a real-life love story. If they're happy, that's all that matters. One supporter posted, Junho and Yoona have been through so much in their careers. They deserve to find joy together. On the other side were skeptics, some disappointed and even angry at the idea that their idols might be moving into parenthood. It's too soon. One critic argued. She's at the peak of her career. A pregnancy scandal would ruin everything. The cultural weight of the rumor cannot be underestimated. In Korea, celebrity relationships are always fraught with tension. But pregnancy speculation is another matter entirely. It suggests permanence, responsibility, and a shift from idolized figure to family life. A transformation that can alienate fans who prefer to see their stars as eternally youthful and unattached. This is particularly true for female celebrities, who often face harsher scrutiny than their male counterparts. The fact that Yoona, long cherished as the nation's CF queen and an enduring symbol of purity and elegance, was at the center of such speculation only heightened the drama. Meanwhile, industry insiders began to whisper their own theories. Some claimed that the hospital visit had nothing to do with pregnancy. but was instead related to a joint project the two were preparing for, requiring medical checkups as part of insurance or filming requirements. Others suggested that the sighting had been misinterpreted entirely, that Junho and Yoona had merely bumped into each other coincidentally. Yet even these explanations did little to quell the excitement. After all, coincidence is rarely accepted at face value in the world of celebrity gossip. The sighting also triggered a wave of nostalgia among fans who had followed the pair's careers from their idol days. Lee Junho, once known as the Beast Idol of 2 p.m., had reinvented himself as a respected actor, claimed for his role in historical dramas and romantic comedies alike. I'm Yoona, once the quintessential girl group center, had similarly transformed, carving out a space as a versatile actress with both commercial and critical success. Together, they represented the pinnacle of the idol-to-actor transition, beloved by multiple generations of fans. To imagine them united in real life, potentially starting a family, felt like the ultimate crossover event, a story too perfect for even the most imaginative drama writer. Of course, not all reactions were positive. Advertisers, always wary of scandal, reportedly convened emergency meetings to assess the potential fallout. Junho and Yoona are highly sought-after brand ambassadors, their faces gracing everything from luxury fashion campaigns to household appliances. A pregnancy rumor, if left unchecked, jeopardize multi-million-dollar contracts. Insider hinted that certain brands were already preparing backup plans, just in case the story gained further traction. Intensity of the speculation also sparked broader debates about privacy and the role of fans in celebrity lives. Critics argue that the frenzy reflected a toxic entitlement, with fans and media alike demanding access to every detail of their stars' personal lives, even if they are in a relationship, even if they are expecting. That's their business. Commentator insisted. The obsession with knowing everything is unhealthy. Others countered that as public figures, Junho and Yoona had a responsibility to address rumors that impacted not only their careers but also the industry at large. The global impact of the story was equally remarkable. Within hours, the hospital sighting was reported by Japanese and Chinese entertainment outlets, with translations of Korean tabloid articles spreading rapidly across international fan communities. In the United States, top blogs and entertainment magazines picked up the story, framing it as another example of the blurred line between idol fantasy and real-life romance. For international fans, the idea of Junho and Yoona together, two of the most recognizable faces in Hallyu, was both thrilling and surreal. Back home, however, the tension only grew. With each passing day of silence from the agencies, the speculation deepened. Theories became more elaborate. Some claimed that a wedding announcement was imminent. Others suggested that the couple was already married in secret. Still others argued that the hospital visit was a misdirection to hide an entirely different scandal. The lack of clarity transformed a single hospital sighting into a sprawling narrative that seemed to grow larger with every retelling. The most sensational claim came from an anonymous online post alleging that the hospital visit was to the obstetrics and gynecology department. The poster claimed to be an employee. No proof was offered. The claim spread like wildfire, fueling headlines and inflaming debates. If this is true, the story is bigger than we ever imagined, one commentator declared on national television. The hospital itself, citing privacy laws, refused to comment, leaving the rumor unresolved and the public even more desperate for answers. And so, the story that began with a blurry photo has become a national obsession. The question remains as tantalizing as ever: are Lee Junho and Yoona becoming parents? Or is this yet another case of the public projecting fantasies onto two stars who, for all their fame, still human beings entitled to their private lives? For now, the truth remains hidden, shrouded in speculation, silence, insatiable hunger of a public that cannot look away. The rumor storm swirled into its second week. The hospital sighting of Lee Junho and Yoona was no longer just a momentary gossip headline, it had transformed into a cultural event. Every media outlet, from primetime television to late-night YouTube channels, dissecting the possibility of the nation's favorite on-screen couple taking their romance into real life, and possibly into parenthood. The story had taken on a life of its own, transcending the simple question of what really happened at that hospital. It had become a mirror of societal expectations, fragility of celebrity images, and the unpredictable collision between private lives and public scrutiny. For Lee Junho, the stakes had never been higher. His journey from 2PM's powerhouse performer to one of Korea's most respected actors was not just a career transformation, it was a reinvention of identity. He had built a reputation as the consummate professional. The kind of actor who prepared tirelessly for every role, and the kind of man who carried himself with grace on and off screen. His performances in both romantic dramas and period pieces had elevated him from idol to thespian, winning awards and adoration in equal measure. Yet the hospital rumor threatened to overshadow years of effort. Reducing his name to a single sensational question, was he about to become a father? Advertisers were reportedly on edge. Junho's image had long been tied to responsibility, maturity, and dependability, the perfect ambassador for everything from luxury watches to family-friendly products. But the specter of a sudden pregnancy scandal raised uncomfortable questions. Would audiences still see him as the nation's dependable son-in-law if they believed he had hidden such a monumental truth? Or would the alleged fatherhood angle strengthen his appeal, framing him as a figure of even greater stability and family values? The answer seemed to depend on which side of the rumor one chose to believe. Yoona's situation was equally precarious, colored by a different lens. For over a decade, she had been celebrated not just as an actress, but as an enduring symbol of innocence and purity. From her earliest days as Girls' Generation's center, Yoona embodied the archetype of the nation's sweetheart. Her face graced cosmetics, jewelry, food products, and luxury fashion campaigns. She was beloved by families, admired by peers, trusted by brands. Yet now, her name was entangled in speculation that carried a heavy implication, that she might already be on the path to motherhood. For some fans, this was a natural progression, a beautiful actress embracing love and family life. For others, it was nothing short of a betrayal of the idealized image they had held on to for so long. The harsh double standard of the entertainment industry was on full display. While some argued that Junho might even benefit from being seen as a potential father figure, the same narrative threatened to erode Yoona's standing as a symbol of youth and purity. Female stars, especially those with images built on innocence, and bear the brunt of scandal far more harshly than their male counterparts. Critics and commentators alike questioned whether Yoona could weather the storm if the rumor gained further traction. Would her endorsement deals survive? Would audiences accept her in youthful, romantic roles if they believed she was preparing for motherhood in real life? Inside the industry, whispers grew louder. Some claimed to have spotted Junho and Yoona together at private dinners, though no photographs emerged to support these claims. It was alleged that the hospital sighting was related to a joint drama project, and that medical checkups were required as part of insurance for high-budget productions. Yet even this explanation failed to calm the speculation. Skeptics pointing out that such checkups are usually done individually, not side by side. Anonymous sources multiplied, offering contradictory accounts, some insisting the visit was purely professional, others swearing it was deeply personal. The agency's silence remained one of the most confounding aspects of the saga. Neither side issued a denial. They confirmed the rumors. Instead, they adopted a strategy of silence, allowing the frenzy to grow unchecked. Was this calculated? Some analysts believe the agencies were testing the waters, gauging public reaction before making a move. Others speculated that they were buying time, unsure of how to spin the story in a way that wouldn't backfire. Still others suggested that the truth was simply too complex to reduce to a simple yes or no. While fans across the globe took sides, internationally, the narrative unfolded with just as much intensity as in Korea. In Japan, where both Junho and Yoona enjoy massive popularity, magazines framed the rumor as a secret love story worthy of a drama plot. In China, fan communities exploded with posts celebrating the idea of a power couple preparing to build a family. Western entertainment outlets picked up the story too, often framing it in the context of K-pop and K-drama's global rise. If Hyunbin and Son Ye-jin could captivate the world with their wedding, could Junho and Yoona be next? Speculation reached fever pitch when an anonymous post claimed that the hospital department in question was obstetrics and gynecology. Without evidence, the claim spread like wildfire, fied by tabloids hungry for clicks and fans desperate for answers. The hospital itself refused to comment, citing patient confidentiality laws, which only heightened the intrigue. Silence, once again, was treated as proof. Beyond the gossip, the story raised broader questions about the nature of celebrity in the digital age. much privacy are stars entitled to when every public appearance can be captured, shared, and dissected within seconds? Should fans celebrate the possibility of love and family? Or should they respect boundaries and wait for official confirmation? And most importantly, what does it say about society that two adults visiting a hospital could trigger an international frenzy? Speculation about the couple's future scenarios filled online discussions. Some fans dreamed of a wedding announcement, envisioning a glamorous event that would rival even the biggest celebrity unions of the past. Others braced for a denial, predicting that the agencies would eventually step in to dismiss the rumors as baseless. Still others suggested a middle ground, that Junho and Yoona might acknowledge a relationship but deny the pregnancy claims, in an attempt to salvage both privacy and reputation. Uncertainty made the story even more addictive. Every move, every word, every social media post by either star became a new puzzle piece to analyze. When Junho mentioned family in a vague comment during a fan interaction, votes spread instantly, interpreted as a hidden signal. When Yoona posted a picture of flowers blooming, fans flooded the comments with speculation about metaphors of growth and new beginnings. The line between fact and fantasy blurred beyond recognition. Days turned into weeks. The question remained tantalizing and unresolved. Are Lee Junho and Yoona truly on the path to parenthood? Or are they victims of an overzealous public eager to project their fantasies onto two of Korea's brightest stars? The answer may never be clear, but the impact of the rumor has already been felt. Tested the resilience of their careers, the loyalty of their fans, and the boundaries of privacy in an era where no secret stays hidden for long. And so the curtain falls, for now. One of the most sensational stories of the year. Perhaps in time the truth will emerge, either through an official statement, a candid confession, or simply the passage of time. Until then, the world remains captivated, watching every move of Lee Junho and Yoona with bated breath. The hospital sighting may have lasted only minutes, but its echoes will linger far longer, etched into the lore of Korean entertainment as a mystery that raised more questions than it answered. Because in the end, that is the true allure of this story. Not the certainty of answers, but the thrill of speculation. Not the reality of what happened, but the possibility of what could be. And as long as that possibility remains alive, so too will the question that started it all: are they becoming parents? At the end of the day, what began as a blurry hospital sighting has evolved into one of the most electrifying stories in recent Korean entertainment history. Whether it was a simple coincidence, a quiet health checkup, a sign of something far more personal, the speculation has already reshaped the way fans see Lee Junho and Yoona. It is not just about whether they are becoming parents, it is about the fragile line between public image and private truth. Between the fantasies of millions and the reality lived by two human beings under the brightest spotlight imaginable. The truth will emerge in time, with clarity that settles every question. Or perhaps it will remain suspended in mystery. A story destined to linger in whispers and headlines. One fact is undeniable: this moment has captured the world's attention, stirred emotions, and reminded us all why we remain endlessly fascinated by the stars who live both on screen and in our imaginations. To every reader who has followed this journey with us, we at Red Carpet Revealed offer our deepest thanks. Thank you for your curiosity, your passion, engagement in uncovering the hidden layers behind the glitz and glamour. It is your attention that keeps these stories alive, voices that fuel the conversation, and your loyalty that inspires us to continue shining a light on the truths and the mysteries behind the red carpet. As we close this chapter, remember, in entertainment, the answers are rarely as important as the questions that keep us captivated. Until the next revelation, stay curious, stay engaged, and above all, stay with Red Carpet Revealed.